In the heart of Africa, far away from the noise of big cities, there was a quiet village called Umudike, a peaceful land surrounded by thick forests, singing birds, and ancient traditions passed down for generations. But hidden inside this peaceful village was a mystery that would soon change everyone's life. In that village lived a quiet man named Ezeobi. Ezeobi rarely spoke to anyone. While the other villagers woke up early to farm their crops, Ezeobi always walked into the deep forest alone. He carried a strange leather bag filled with herbs and roots. No one knew exactly what he was doing there, and that made the villagers uncomfortable. One evening, a woman whispered to her friend, "I heard Ezeobi talks to spirits inside the forest." Another replied quietly, "I saw strange lights coming from his hut at midnight." Slowly, the whispers spread across the village, and before long, everyone believed the same thing. Ezeobi was a witch. They said he could fly like an owl at night. They said he spoke with dark spirits. They said he could bring sickness to anyone who offended him. But no one had ever seen him do anything evil. Still, fear is powerful, and when fear enters people's hearts, logic disappears. Then something terrible happened. The rain suddenly stopped coming. The farms began drying under the hot sun. Chickens started dying mysteriously. And one night, a young boy in the village fell dangerously sick. The villagers became terrified, and when people are afraid, they search for someone to blame. The village chief quickly called an emergency meeting under the great Udala tree. Everyone gathered there. Anger filled the air. Suddenly, an old woman stood up and pointed her shaking finger. "It is Ezeobi. He is the one bringing evil to our village." The crowd exploded with shouting. That same night, the villagers marched to Ezeobi's hut. Torches burned in the darkness. They dragged him outside. The chief stepped forward and spoke with authority. "Ezeobi, the village believes you practice witchcraft. If you do not confess, you will be banished forever." Ezeobi looked at the angry crowd, but he did not shout. He did not run. He simply said calmly, "I have done nothing evil." The villagers laughed loudly. Of course, that was exactly what a witch would say. 2 nights later, tragedy struck again. The sick boy suddenly stopped breathing. His mother screamed in panic. The villagers believed the witch had finally taken the boy's life. But then, something unexpected happened. Ezeobi quietly entered the house. He opened his leather bag. Inside were herbs, roots, and healing plants. He crushed them carefully, mixed them with water, and gently gave the medicine to the boy. The entire room became silent. Minutes passed. Then suddenly, the boy coughed. The boy's chest moved again. Slowly, he opened his eyes. The villagers stood frozen in shock. The boy who was almost dead was alive again. Ezeobi looked at them. "For years you called me a witch, but everything I do is to heal people." He showed them the herbs in his bag. "My father taught me the ancient healing knowledge of our ancestors, but fear blinded your hearts." The next morning, the chief gathered the villagers again. This time, there was no anger, only silence. The chief bowed his head. "Forgive us, Ezeobi." From that day forward, the villagers stopped calling him a witch. Instead, they called him the healer of Umudike, because sometimes the person the world fears the most is the one sent to save it.